Hello everybody, my name is Draconic, and there are a lot of cars in Driving Empire. There's like over 200, I can't even count how many. But today we're going over the 5 most overpowered cars in Driving Empire, since there's a whole bunch of cars. A lot of them aren't that good, but these are the 5 most overpowered. I'm also throwing in a bonus car right before first place, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And as always, let's get right into the video, and we're going to be starting with the 5th place car, which is on my list, the TVR Subaru Speed 12. Now this is the 5th place car on my list. I did both cross-country and circuit race in these cars to get a feel for them. And out of all the cars I did, I chose 5 cars. This car is 5th because of its low price. It's below $1 million. It's like 870K, I think. But beyond that, it's got really great top speed and pretty dang good acceleration and great handling too. And all of this combined makes it a wonderful car for circuit. It gets somewhere like 154, 155, maybe 153 if you're really good at the race. At cross country though, it shines even harder. It gets like 150 on decent runs, and you can definitely do sub 150 if you have enough practice with it. It's a really great car, but it only makes it to the 5th spot on my list because of some other cars that come further up. But still, an amazing car, and this is one of my top 5 most overpowered cars. On to number 4. My number 4 pick here is the Hennessy Venom F5. It's $5 million as a car, and it's way more high in terms of price compared to my number 4 pick, but I'm covering all the price points here, and this car used to be even better, but even after its nerfs, it's still a great car, and that's why I picked it for the 4th slot. Of course, its top speed is incredibly high. It's also got really great handling, pretty good brakes, and its Excel is sort of its weak spot. So it's got weaker Excel, and it's a bit less stable than other cars. So those are its 2 downsides, but aside from those downsides, it's still an incredible car. It'd definitely be way higher up on the list if it wasn't for the nerfs and all of that. But given where it's at right now, it does like upper 140s for circuit. And not 140s, isn't like 140 flat, but it does like 148, 149, maybe a bit lower with a really good run for circuit. And for cross country, it gets into the 130s as well, thanks to that really high top speed. So this is a great car to pick for certain, and that's why it makes it onto the list. Now let's go to number 3. And the 3rd spot on my list is the fake Koenigsegg CC850. It's called the Exotics K70, I believe. It costs 3.8 or so mil, and it's really quite quick. The main thing with this car is its acceleration is just off the charts fast. The thing that holds it back is certainly its handling, but even with its bad handling as it is, it can still do under 150 for circuit, which is a primarily handling-based race. So obviously this car is nothing to slouch at, and with it being over $1 million cheaper than the Venom F5, honestly, it's up higher for a reason. I'd rather buy this one than the Venom F5. It's more stable feeling for sure. It's easier to recover with a better acceleration. And so with those characteristics, I would pick this over the F5. When it comes to cross country, it's even quicker. I have it written down as 140.2. That's what the time I got after 2 tries or 1 try. But I know I can do a lot better. I know you can do sub 140. You can probably get 137, 138 with a nice time there. So overall, a really great car. I don't see barely any people using it, so I definitely suggest you buy it if you don't own it. It does look a bit ugly, but it's not the worst fake model Voldex has ever made. On to number 2. Now the 2nd most overpowered car on my list is, if you've played Driving Empire for any time at all really, you've seen this coming. If you've done races for a while, you know what it is. It's the Ravana Racer. It's the fake Bugatti Bolide. This car wouldn't really be on this list if it was actually the original price, which is 25.6 mil. But since it's so cheap, since it's only 10 mil, it's definitely number 2 on the list. It's really high up. It's overpowered. It's basically the fastest car in the game for cross-country race. It's really high up there. It's maybe like 2nd or 3rd for circuit race. It'll do it'll do low 140s for circuit, like 143, 142, 141. Maybe it'll do high 139s with a perfect run if you use wall riding, because in my run I didn't really wall ride, but I know if you wall ride, because the brakes are so bad in this car, you can actually do even better. For cross country, it is the best car in the game still, I believe. It will do into the 130s. It almost does the 120s. You can probably get 128, 129 as the fastest possible times. The best I've done with it is 131, so I could obviously use some more practice, but I've only done a couple runs with it. So overall, this car is amazing. If you play competitively, you have to buy this, basically. Use the race engine for cross country, use the street engine for circuit, and you'll be good. It's a wonderful car, and I highly recommend it. On to our sneak peek right before first place. Honorable mention for this list is the Apollo IE. It's the VIP car, so it will run you back, I think, 500 Robux still. It's got pretty good acceleration, pretty good handling, pretty good top speed. Basically, it's a really good all-around car. The only real issue with putting this on the list actually is one, it's for Robux, and two, the upgrade costs actually sort of make it not too worth it, at least compared to our first place entry. But still, overall, if you're putting it up against something like the TVR, it is a really good car still. It'll run you pretty fast in cross-country and pretty fast in circuit. It does something like 153, 154. It's really decently quick, but it's not number one. Number one would be this KTM Expo GT4, something like that, but it's only 370k. That is why it is number one. It isn't the fastest car in the world, obviously. It's rather slow in terms of the cars on this list. It's, I think, the slowest one. But the point is just how cheap it is. If you buy your starter car and you start your car off in Driving Empire, you get like 1 or 2 races down, and you sell your starter car, you can buy this. And this car can carry you up against some weaker players. If they have cars like the Venom F5, you can smoke them in this car if you're good at the game. It'll do 268 with boost, 241 is its top speed with the race engine, and if you put that engine on there and take it to circuit or cross country, it will absolutely destroy the competition. Its handling is way too good. It needs a nerf for sure. I know it's meant to be a GT4 car. It's a really quick car. It's got the wing, it's got all the spoilers, all the aero, but it's too fast. It really just is too fast. It does something like, let's see, 155 for circuit, 100 and something. It's even fast. It's around, actually it's a little slower for cross country. It does 157, 158. But between the two, for 370k, under 160 in both races is honestly incredible. This car is easily number one in my books for this sort of challenge of all-rounders with the best value, the most overpowered cars. It wins, hands down. And that is going to conclude my list of the top 5 most overpowered cars in Driving Empire, and including my bonus pick of the Apollo. Sorry I had to. Alright, thanks for watching. As always, if you liked the video, consider leaving a like, subscribe, it helps the channel. Maybe I'll be a content creator for the game if we can get some more support. You're doing really great. Thanks for watching, I've said this before, but as always, I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.